right? And all of a sudden, post-catastrophic injury, let's not forget, he was having his best statistical year as a passer before the injury. That includes his MVP year. I thought maybe he had even improved off of that year with Norv Turner as his offensive coordinator. Stephen A, as you know, I've brought up and we've talked about many times. So, but that guy off a catastrophic injury, new coach, new system, new setting, the most unforgiving standard in the NFL, following the GOAT as a totally different player in a year of COVID, no receivers. Everyone complained about Tom Brady's lack of offensive weapons last year. If anything, it's worse this year. Patrick Chung and Hightower both off the defense before the season starts. Gilmore in and out of the lineup because of injury. And then Cam gets COVID too, and then has lingering effects. Right now, they're 2 games under 500, and they're 2 plays away from being over 500. Guys, Belichick's been in his corner the whole time. Cam has said everything right to the media by all accounts, has worked hard, has led, has set the right tone in terms of competitiveness. Where would Cam look around and say, that's a better situation for me than this? And this is without receivers. Belichick knows if he keeps Cam, he's got to go get him some receivers. I absolutely, if I were Cam, would want to stay put.
I respectfully disagree. Here's the deal. Obviously, we don't know whether or not it's going to be the best situation for him, Max. We have to wait and see whether New England's going to be the best situation for him, as if there's somebody else that may want him. I mean, if that's the best offer you can get, of course, that's where you stay. But what I'm saying is, when you look at the New England Patriots, we talk about 9 dudes that weren't available at the start of the season because they didn't want to participate because of COVID-19. And we get how severely compromised the New England Patriots were. And I give Bill Belichick a lot of props because they've been competitive throughout this season, and he's had to deal with a lot, particularly the number of positive tests that have come about, how they've had to shut down their practice facility. I'm talking about earlier on in the season. We understand that. But in the end, even though Cam Newton is completing 65% of his passes this year, let's use the eye test. He does not look like a good thrower of the football. He just doesn't. I can't even count how many times he's missed open receivers. And it's shocking that they were open, because when you look at how they're bereft of weapons, because Bill Belichick has never really pinned down acquiring a top-notch receiver through the draft. I mean, you got N'Keal Harry instead of Metcalf or A.J. Brown. That says it all. The bottom line is, if you're Cam Newton, what are you coming back to offensively? Rex Burkhead and Sony Michel and James White and these boys. Yeah, you can run the football. They got a top 6 rushing attack in the National Football League, but they got the 3rd worst throwing attack in the National Football League. Cam Newton is a phenomenal athlete. He's a former league MVP. He's a good dude. He's a leader. He's a lot of things. He is not an elite thrower of the football. When you combine that with the fact that he is succeeding Tom Brady, who has spent a vast majority of his career being the exact opposite, an elite thrower of the football, you know what? It's just not a match made as far as I'm concerned. The fact of the matter is, the New England Patriots don't have the weapons to complement Cam Newton. He'll never look good in a New England Patriots uniform. They might find ways to win games in spite of him. They might find ways to win games with Cam Newton not losing them for you. But Cam Newton being that dude behind center, flinging the football, reading through his progressions, making sure that he can do whatever he needs to do in order to throw the football effectively, he's just not that dude. And so for me, he needs to go someplace where you've got a multitude of weapons. I mean, think about it, Max. The best weapon he ever had, other than Steve Smith, who I love, by the way, was Kelvin Benjamin all of those years in Carolina. Then he comes to New England. Cam Newton has never been blessed with a multitude of elite, wide-out weapons to work with. He needs help. He ain't going to get it in New England because that's not Bill Belichick's strong suit, to draft those dudes at the wide receiver spot. Actually, his history shows that. That's why it's not a good thing for him.
Since you're pointing out a guy who went to the Super Bowl and was league MVP, and until he got hurt was having a season on par with his MVP season, if not better as a thrower of the football, as you like to say, he doesn't need weapons. It's not Cam's style.
What do you mean, a couple of years ago?
You can get a lot out of Cam Newton without, I'm saying you can get a lot out of Cam Newton his whole career when he's succeeded. It's not been because of the stuff around him. So that's number one. Number two, should Cam want to return to the Patriots? Your argument seems to tell me maybe the Patriots shouldn't want Cam. But when I look at Bill Belichick, I don't see a coach married to one way of playing. In fact, I think as the X's and O's are concerned, one of the things that makes Belichick great is he will see what he has and try to devise a game plan to take away the other team's strengths and to play to his strengths. But the strengths can change. It can vary. Did Tom Brady look like a good thrower of the football last year? Last year, Tom Brady looked middle of the pack at best, I thought. Missing receivers every which way, but I get it. They weren't getting separation. And yet, Tom Brady won 12 games last year. And Cam Newton, a couple plays away from being over 500 this year. I agree with you, he's never really had weapons, but he's also had a lot of success like that. And should he want to stay in New England with Belichick? Hell yeah. Cam Newton's brand has been revitalized at the very least, if not his value as a quarterback.
Whoa. What brand has been revitalized? What the hell are you talking about? Cam Newton's brand has been revitalized?
Cam Newton went from a guy questionable. Do you really want to bring Cam into the organization? The way he dealt with the media, the way he presented himself. Did he feel comfortable in his own skin? Did he lead, right?
Okay.
Or leadership qualities. Is he going to be long for the NFL, right?
I wasn't talking about that.
He showed you through this whole process how he kept it 100, as the kids say, through the entire process. He is leading by example with his work ethic. He's showing a ton of character. Is he a guy you'd want in your organization now? Because a couple years ago, I'd say, I don't know. Now, yes.
Yeah, character's the right word, not brand.
Why would you bring all of that up? Why would you bring all of that up when you know good and damn well that's not what I'm talking about? Well, I'm not talking about, because I never questioned his leadership. I never questioned his character. Matter of fact, I thought he was getting a bad rap. The point is that it's about your ability to play, to throw the football. When he was in Carolina, what were we lamenting? Ron Rivera had him running the football. You were calling running plays. Cam Newton insisted on it. When Ron Rivera wanted to scale it back, Cam Newton had a problem with it. He said, you don't take the cape off of Superman. That's what he said. What I'm saying is he's not what he used to be in that regard. Maybe he could get back to that in terms of running the football effectively. I'm just looking at Bill Belichick's system, what he requires, and I'm not saying that him and Josh McDaniel can't make adjustments and modifications, but in the end, when I look at Cam Newton, I don't consider him an elite thrower of the football. And when you combine that with limited, diminished weapons that New England has compared to other people, I don't think it's a good situation for him to remain in as a quarterback. You're a running back, you can go play for New England. You're a defensive player, go play for New England. You're a quarterback, a wideout,
When you say Belichick's system, the whole thing about Belichick is the system changes depending on who you're playing. It changes week to week, let alone year to year. Belichick won with Brady as a high-powered offensive machine who made okay receivers look great, and the team was based around Brady. Mm-hmm. As he declined, Belichick changed the nature of the team and won a Super Bowl that way, behind a running game and a defense, more like Brady when Brady was first coming into the league. He changes the personnel and the team and the scheme week to week, let alone year to year.
And he did it for Cam Newton. Throw.
Okay, so let's talk about Cam Newton. We both agree that under Norv Turner, he was throwing the football better. So it's in him somewhere. Stephen A., he's coming off of catastrophic injury in a new system, without an offense, having COVID this year, no practice time before the season, facilities shut down in the middle of the season. Every single thing that could conspire to make him look bad has happened. And you want to write him off after 1 year? To me, if anything, there's a lot of success to be seen with this situation.
People get this is why people get disgusted with you, because your ears are apparently clogged and you like to change the narrative. I did not say Cam Newton was done. A matter of fact, I specifically said he could go somewhere else. The question was, do you want him to return to New England? I'm saying no to New England. I'm not saying no to Cam Newton in the NFL. I think he needs to be someplace where they give him more offensive firepower to work with. That's what I'm saying. But I'm not saying he's done.
But you just said before.
I'm saying New England is not the ideal spot for him.
You just said before that Cam never had weapons in the past. But Cam had a lot of success. He went to a bunch of playoffs. He went to a Super Bowl. He won the MVP, and you're right, Steve Smith, toward the end, was the best receiver he had, other than Greg Olsen, who was his tight end.
with Davis and Kuechly and those boys.
But the Patriots have some of the best defenses of the modern era recently. The Patriots have had a great defense recently.
Okay.
The Patriots have had a great defense.
Yeah, but Cam ain't what he used to be
in the last couple of years.
To be continued, fellas. Let me leave you with this. We all know that the Patriots obviously got Cam for peanuts. We know it was a one-year deal. He was asked about his future on WEEI. He said he has a whole lot of football left to play. He knows that he's on a job interview, though. Bill Belichick also was asked, would there be a potential quarterback switch? And he just left it with, we'll see. Plenty more to come here on